Oh.
So, for the second concert review for Survey of Western Music, I went to see the Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban live in concert. So, you may be wondering, hey, that's a movie, not a musical group. So, the Virginia Symphony Orchestra does this really cool thing. Then they're going through all the Harry Potter movies where they play the score of the movies behind the movie itself. So, you're sitting there in the theater watching Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban without the actual normal music. Instead, the Virginia Symphony Orchestra is sitting under the screen, not really in the pit, but on the stage under the screen, performing the soundtrack. And it's a really interesting concept, and I've been to all of them. Prisoner of Azkaban, the third movie, was the most recent. And it was a really interesting concept, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. So, like I mentioned, it's the third movie. So the movie, well, the book is, of course, classic. Everyone knows Harry Potter. Most people like Harry Potter. The movie received some mixed reception when it came out, but that's, Alfonso Cuarón had some very questionable directing choices, according to some people. But it's a very widespread pop culture thing, whether or not people like it. So of course, all the songs are recognizable. So the music is, of course, fantastic. It was composed by John Williams, who everyone at this point should recognize. He is an expert composer, probably one of the best currently alive. And he wrote the music for Star Wars, for Indiana Jones, for Jaws, for E.T. I mean, all the classic movies, a lot of which were directed by Steven Spielberg, but that aside. But yeah, all the classic movies, it just seems like John Williams was involved somehow, and his score rarely disappoints. Like, even for movies that aren't so good, or maybe not be declared so good like this movie by some of the fans, the score is still like the best part of it. And that's because John Williams just does such a good job with the writing. Like I said, he's like legendary. So the style is designed to go with the movie. So it's designed to be backing everything that happens. So in the tense scenes, like where Harry's about to get the Dementor's kiss, the music's very tense, it's very high pitched, it's almost horror sounding, whereas, it's just Hogwarts and like the Great Hall and everyone's calm, the music's a lot more upbeat, more happy sounding. And gives it a different feel. It's designed to create the emotion you're supposed to be feeling that's supposed to go with that scene of the movie. And like I said, John Williams is really, really good at that. In terms of instrumentation, it's an orchestra style, so he's got all the percussion, all the French horns, the strings, like all of it. So it's full orchestra style. In this case, actually, what was interesting is because there is singing parts in the soundtrack for The Prisoner of Azkaban. They had the chorus, I don't know if it's the Virginia Symphony Chorus or just Virginia Chorus, with the rest of the symphony and singing the sung parts. There's a moment in the movie that's, again, one of those questionable directing choices by Alfonso Cuarón, but it's in the movie, where they have a choir of students and actually frogs, for some reason, in Hogwarts, singing a song right as Harry enters Hogwarts for the first time in his third year. And instead of the audio for the movie just being played, it was sung by the chorus that was sitting there in the back of standing on the back of the stage, which I thought was really cool and honestly sounded better than some of the, I think, in the original cut of the movie. It's really cool seeing this stuff live. So, of course, in terms of historical period, this is a very modern style. It's a modern movie. It's released within the last 20 years, I think. Yeah. Oh, here's the program. I don't know, mention that. It's, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban in concert. A neat little back to it. All kinds of information about directors and the conductor, or the composer, and the conductor, who was John Jasinski in this case. But yeah, so they keep advertising this, and they've done other stuff other than Harry Potter, including Gladiator, The Godfather, It's a Wonderful Life, Star Trek, that kind of thing. You know, a bunch of classic movies, and they've done, the Virginia Symphony has done this for a lot of them. In terms of the concert itself, though, what did I think? I thought the concert was great, and this is, you know, thoughts of the movie is set aside. The concert and the concept that goes into it is wonderful. I keep having to remind myself, though, while I'm watching the movie, though, because of course I'm focused on the screen watching the movie, I keep having to remind myself to look down, look at the band, you know, watch what they're doing. And when I did, I still found myself amazed, because they were so almost perfect in the way that they executed everything. The volume control was good. They kept it low, so it really didn't disturb the movie. It really just felt like watching the movie normally, which is awesome. But the quality, I mean, the presence of a live musical group, of course, said it better, you know, than it would recorded. And I hope I'm in town again to see the fourth one. I don't know when they're going to come out with that. But yeah, I was very impressed. The thing about this that's even more impressive, though, is that the Virginia Symphony only rehearses this together like 2 or 3 times, like as a group, before they do the full concert. So they're only practicing on their own, and they sound like they've been playing together for years. And of course, most of them have, just not these pieces. And they sound very well practiced. They do very well at it. And they're doing 2 or 3 shows a day, which is just very impressive. You know, as a musician myself, I don't think I have the stamina to keep playing my trumpet for, you know, 2 or 3 full-length movies, especially in a demanding kind of soundtrack like John Williams tends to write. Well, I wouldn't say demanding, but still, it's a very intense, let's say, type of music, like that John Williams writes. And so playing that 2 or 3 times a day, I can't imagine that. A lot of respect for these musicians. So yeah, that's that. Hope you enjoyed.